Boop, boop. Hello?
Oh my god, hi!
Hello.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi, hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi, hi Cyborg, hi Leonor, hi Canuck. How are you all doing?
Hi, Cyborg.
Hi. Oh, thanks for the resubscriptions.
Oh my.
Oh my
appreciate it.
goodness, we're a hype twain.
Oh, Marathon
Wow.
Rooney.
Mug for Rooney.
That's the Roonies.
Oh.
Oh dear me, dear me. Right.
I get the mug
Hi,
for Rooney's,
Adam.
but what's with the hole afterwards?
Yeah, what's going on with the hole?
Holy.
Oh.
I suppose you'd be a lot wise.
Yeah. Definitely
I tried.
hole.
It's not like I had the whole pre-stream to prep that for that.
It's nice to be back
Oh my god.
in the DM chair.
What
is this animation?
Do you roll out the DM chair?
That's the default raid thing. I don't know why it's on this one. Hi, thank you so much for the raid. That was alarming.
Hi.
Oh god, thank you for the bits, Cyborg.
All the bits. Oh my goodness.
Hi, Space Chicken. Hi, SJ Socks.
There's a some wildly different raid messages happening right
there. Yeah, which one is it? Is it lasagna or a meteor shower? Hello, Snoots.
Birds here.
Hi, Leo. Thanks so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. We just started. Came right on time. Right on time for us to show you Roll20's cool new FX thingies. Whoa. Anyone?
They're cool.
I can see that one now.
It's about time we added them. Right after the competition.
You're right.
They haven't been around for about a year. No.
No, totally not.
Oh, is that a magic effect? Whoa.
Yeah, I want my review on it is I want more cute colors. I think we've got all the basic colors. I think we'd like more cute colors.
It does say there's a custom effect thing.
Fire, charm, and death. Your classic colors. Your basic palette.
The classic colors: fire, charm, and death.
I'm curious to know what the custom effects do.
How do you do custom effects?
There's a little tab at the top right. It says custom effect. Do you not have that?
No, probably because we don't have the subscription.
Does the DM need to be?
Or maybe it's a DM feature.
I think the effects are free. But yeah, maybe the DM can. Oh, the big laser!
Holy shit!
It was like a worm flying past.
Oogling. Ew. Ew. Little splats everywhere.
Stinky fireworks.
This is the sparkle one. I don't think this is just bright enough.
There's just bits of splooge.
Yeah, it doesn't look like sparkle. It looks like powder.
Yeah. Roll20, get us on your team. Sponsor us. Please.
Let me link them to spells so I can press spells and just have them make effects immediately, please.
Yeah.
We don't know how to code, but we have a lot of feedback.
Where would it go?
In the it would go wherever. It would just know, okay?
Yeah.
It should just know immediately. Hi everybody. Sorry for the weird start. We just haven't played in a bit and it's nice to fuck about with new stuff. We've switched over to the whatever the fuck this is called now. What would they call it? Jump Gate. The Roll20's new bits and bobs. And it turns out, even though I thought this was in beta, all of the previous unjump gate Roll20 stuff is all referred to as legacy all the way throughout. So it's not like this is like a fun new beta thing. It's like we've given up. We don't support the shit anymore. You got to use the new stuff, which I wasn't aware of. But there's some cool stuff for D&Ds. Like there's a new foreground layer, so I can put stuff in front of you if you're at different elevations. Not that people make D&D maps at different elevations. What's wrong with that? Map makers, give us more elevations.
Now they've got the option.
Now they have the option, right?
True.
Unfortunately, the map makers are all independent artists working through Patreon, and they have to make things as quickly as possible.
True.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Salty.
I picked up a new Oh, wait, there's like a broken splooge on my screen now. It's still there.
Oh,
The splooge is still going.
Even doctor on that.
that happened to me on the other scene. I just had 2 sparklers going permanently.
Yeah, I've just got a black sparkler going at the moment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's 3D D&D. Yeah, no, 3D D&D is
It's where the shadow lies.
it is hard. It's hard. Anyway, the fuck did we do last time we played? Last time we played, you guys went on a little trip to Arabelle. You'd left the monastery after finally managing to break out of the lockedness. Because, well, it wasn't even you that broke out. It was the person that you were hunting. There was an assassin in and amongst you, a doppelganger, who had successfully assassinated Master Kulth and was hiding amongst the monastery folk, trying to be, inconspicuous. But they'd recognized that somebody had died and locked the door on them. Then they couldn't leave. Is Katie okay, or is she? Whoa! Oh my goodness! Wow!
Katie's superpower revealed.
You were stationary
I
for
heard you
ages.
go a little robot-y as I was cleaning my glasses, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh no, I guess we froze." And then y'all did like the super speed thing. So I guess I'm the only one who did it for you. That's
That was
good.
fun. That was fun.
Love that.
Oh, combat D6 for the DM. Thank you so much.
Wait, and
Wow.
Salty gave you a D6.
Wow.
as
Wow.
well.
Really?
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh,
God.
guys.
Space
Oh,
Odyssey.
shame the
Guys.
stream's ended.
James ended. Gotta go.
Can't wait to use these for evil.
For
Hell
evil.
yeah. Evil. So you guys managed to get out, and we were finally able to explore the world around us. We went off to Arabelle to buy some diamonds, and we needed those diamonds for a couple different reasons. First off, guilt. Importantly, guilt.
I
Unfortunately,
don't have
due
any
to
guilt. I don't know why.
No one here
during
has any guilt.
the
Any proven
large fight that was happening in the monastery, unfortunately, we lost track of the doppelganger. We didn't know where the doppelganger went. I've just realized the lack of music is driving me nuts. Start playing day to day. We lost track of the doppelganger, and unsurprisingly, we then became quite paranoid when a bunch of NPCs came on the scene, because any one of those NPCs could have been the doppelganger. And whilst fleeing the scene, Ethael took with him. What did you take? You took what's the name?
Yes.
Headmistress Laria. You took her with you, and creating a shockwave as you left. And as you left, you damaged one of the NPCs who had arrived on the scene. And it turns out that NPC wasn't a doppelganger; they were just an NPC, and they got violently murdered.
Collateral damage.
Allegedly.
It's a dangerous world.
It's a dangerous world.
I don't think there's any allegedly about it. I feel like a couple of us checked it and are basically like, yeah, we know this happened, but we're not saying anything.
Oh no, you definitely checked it. Afterwards, you went up to the body and you were like, no paper cuts, which is really interesting given that we were just fighting a bunch of sentient paper. Weird. And then just left it.
Blunt force trauma.
It was like Oro and Haiku walking up and being like, "Oh, this looks like drama. We're not getting involved. I can tell something happened here, but I'm not looking any further because then I have plausible deniability."
A lot was happening. Okay, a lot was happening.
There was a lot going on. Regardless,
The self-defense.
you also are aware that whilst you were hanging out inside the monastery, a friend of yours came to visit and is currently staying next door at the lodging. And that is Margaret the tattoo artist. Margaret the tattoo artist is here, and she's offering tattoos at a discount price because she's besties with you guys. Although she hasn't met Ethael before, so Ethael's not quite getting the price that you guys got. You guys got sick tats because you had to find a diamond to help her fix her machine in the first place, and now Ethael has to pay actual gold.
And then Haiku was there to be like, I'll help negotiate the price, and then it basically made it stay exactly the same and made it even harder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vitamin D Haiku is just, it's just a hyperman. What can I say?
Vitamin D Haiku was like, yeah, these tattoos are amazing. What a great price that full price is.
Support
I
small
cannot
businesses.
say how happy it makes me that we have like actually accepted the vitamin D haiku hypothesis.
Mhm.
And we're going with it.
I think it shows character growth. I think it's fun RP. I think it's a win for all of us. I'm with it.
Just wait till I collect a few more items and we have character ungrowth.
Character
shrinkage.
Devolution of
Shrinkage. Is it cold?
oh my god. And then we had to go after Arabelle. We had to go after Arabelle to buy some gems, some diamonds, so that Neroli could use her spells that will help us bring the dead back, given that they have not been dead for too long. Turns out, the person who'd been brutally murdered, Jewel, was the owner and proprietor of the only gem shop in Arabelle. Jewel's Jewels.
What's that? What's that thing where people are named and then they end up being a certain profession?
That's funny. But regardless, you managed to find the shop and interact with the shopkeep, Jewel's father, without suggesting that Jewel had been killed and that you needed the diamond in order to resurrect her. And thus, no fight started. And that was nice.
It was a close
Then
call.
you left. It was a very close call. It was a very close call. But you left the shop, and then you've bumped into a goat who had kind of gnawed and chewed through the rope that was around its neck, and had walked out into the crowd, found you, and then started kind of banging up in your face. After a little bit of investigation, you recognise that this was no goat at all, and was in fact a nobleman. Whose name was Leopold, I believe. Leopold Priakos, who revealed to you, once you dispelled the magic and helped him avoid capture from the menacing mercenaries who were nearby, that he is the great nephew of Leandros Brunheld, who is the CEO of the Six Coffers Trading Company in Suzail, they work in lots of different places, but they have a location in Suzail. And that's pretty much where we ended it. You guys were going to go back to the monastery after that?
Yup.
Yep.
Leopold Priakos. I found it.
Yep. That's the one I said, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So, usually when we start our sessions, we start off with a little bit of a prompt and a bit of an update as to what's happening at the tavern that we all collectively own. What's the hip haps? What's the prompt this week?
What would your character's ideal vacation be?
I can answer
that
first.
question?
What?
Go for it.
Vegas. Or would absolutely be in Vegas. Watching all the shows, gambling all the money away, winning a bunch of money, probably, because she's got luck points, so she would re-roll the gambling and do it again.
When she feels her luck run out for the day, literally can just quit and come back the next day.
Very quickly banned.
How does she always know when to stop playing? It's weird.
What is Faerun's Vegas? Great question. Is it Waterdeep? Maybe
I
we'll
feel like
find
it'd
out
be
one day.
Waterdeep.
I feel like
I
feel like
ran
Waterdeep
a
has to be
game
it.
where there was a massive casino in Waterdeep because they did a heist. So,
I mean, that makes sense to me.
there we go.
I mean, on the topic of heists, that segues into my answer.
What?
Okay.
Just like a nice, I would probably like quite a nice cultural experience. Go visit a bunch of museums, you know. Around them. Anything were to be missing by the end of it, I don't know.
Would they be
exchange?
Yeah, would they be returned?
Yeah, I mean, those items would probably already been stolen from somewhere. You know.
So very British of you.
You know, if I steal it off someone who's stolen it, is that really stealing? Not really.
It's liberating it, surely, at that point.
Liberating it.
Yeah.
Depends on where
Oh,
it's getting
no.
liberated to. Where's it going? Is it going back to the original
Well,
culture,
I mean,
or is it?
I plan on taking it back eventually. If I'm dead before that happens, oh, that'd be such a shame.
Suddenly,
Reverse
loophole
Indiana
in
Jones.
stealing has been found.
It's in your will to return
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah. Look, it's in my will.
It's a quest in itself.
Any more vacations, holidays?
Thales would be like on a secluded and quiet beach somewhere. Whereas like, so I feel like you probably wouldn't have necessarily, or hadn't seen water like ocean before, particularly.
Okay.
But he has now canonically.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that, where it's just like different, not something he has really experienced.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense given that the upbringing that Thale experienced was very devoid of stuff like that. Maybe you've seen beaches, but and water, but they have been grey beaches of desolate waste and water that sucks joy from you. So we're going for the opposite. Wonderful.
It's always too cold.
Water that makes you see moths. I'm struggling to decide what Nerali's vacation would be. It would either be like a really long pilgrimage type thing where she goes around and she actually takes the time to like learn about the other gods in like a really super leisurely help people along the way, like years long endeavor. Or it would be just like going to some small village and just living there for like 2 months and just doing the kind of stuff that she grew up doing, harvesting, like foraging things, making little like useful things like soap and stuff like that, because it would just be like nothing major is going on, nobody like super needs her, there's not a bunch of danger, like she's not the reason why people are alive. She can just
this is
exist.
Faerun. Danger finds you.
Right, yeah, but that's why it would be a vacation, right? Is because she would stay there long enough that she could relax, but not long enough that those people become a target, right? Like,
right. Okay.
it's
Okay.
one of those two things and nothing in between.
Yeah.
I can't decide.
Okay. And how about our inn? What's going on over there?
Good news, they're on holiday too. They've all gone to Vegas.
They've all gone to Vegas.
The inn on Vegas.
Wow.
The fireworks.
Okay, cool. Cool. Wonderful. In which case, let's get cracking back into the game. We are currently in Arabelle, and we are probably making our way back to the monastery. Can we all probably agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, fantastic. Let's have a little bit of a quick think about what it is that we want to try and accomplish in the next few hours or so, knowing full well that we could... The resolution of this, unless you guys have other plans, is that you're going to kind of resolve everything that you've got going on here in and around Arabelle and at the monastery, and then return via Nesmith to the circus, where you are awaited by Hilda and also by Eleron Felos. And your closest portal that you can take, your teleportation spell, takes you to Nesmith.
I think we wanted to go check on Nesmith too, just because we haven't heard from Evelyn and Parsnip in a while. Why do I always want to call him Turnip?
Close.
The curse is bleeding over into real life, and Parsnip's getting erased.
Is there anything else that we want to do whilst we're at the monastery?
I want to get a tattoo. I don't know if Thale wants to get the magic tattoo. Can't remember if that was decided on or not.
That's a dice roll on what that magic tattoo ends up being. You guys didn't have a choice.
and it's like 6,000 gold.
Yeah, it's not.
Can I talk to her? Can I, it's been a while. Can I
Sure.
be like,
Do you want me to come help?
no?
Why ever not?
Are we talking right now?
Noro, it's wonderful to see you.
Oh my god, it's so good to see you. It's been so long. I'm so glad you're okay.
Check out this sick ink. And she shows a tattoo that she's got on her own arm that's of a little crunchy goblin.
Oh, no way. That's sick. Wait a minute. Why have you got a crunchy goblin on your arm?
I just got,
Just thought it was
inspired
cool?
one evening. Yeah, I like to think it's you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wait, now I want a tattoo of a crunchy version of you.
Yes, that's sick. Do that.
I came
Let's
in here
get
with
you
an
right
idea.
now.
But let's go with this. I would like a crunchy Margaret tattoo.
Let's
Okay.
do it. I'll even do it for free because you're such a good returning customer.
Oh my God.
Okay, thanks. That's very sweet of you. Whilst this is happening, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
also like talk up Athale and be like, Athale's new, like
Uh-huh.
cool, I'd like to introduce to like the magic tattoo. What do you think? It's quite a lot like that, I know. Ooh.
What's with the ghost in the background? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it's a long story.
Okay.
We're gonna build walls,
Uh-huh.
but right now my room is kind of like a public space a little bit until that gets closed off.
I'm
so
in the
people
living
will-
room. It's
Yeah.
fine. I've always been in living rooms.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
get it. Okay, cool. It didn't phase me, but it also felt important to at least acknowledge that it happened.
What do you mean nothing happened?
Yeah, what happened?
So you guys have a bit of a chat. Can you roll me a persuasion check, please?
Yes. Oh, I don't have a high persuasion because it's charisma. I forgot about that. What if I do a performance?
I would like a persuasion check, please.
What if I use a lucky point of luck? What if I use another point of luck?
I telegraphed that in my head. I think that's my fault.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
hold on. I'm going to use my 1d6.
5 plus 4 is 9, so...
Ooh.
Ooh,
14?
ooh.
I'm gonna subtract 1d6, and I've
Wait.
subtracted 5.
But also you need to add something because me and Margaret now have tattoos of each other. Like we're like bonded in this
Yeah.
way. Like she doesn't want
I
to
have an
upset
idea.
me, and
That should give you
Yeah.
advantage.
I have an
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
So you successfully managed to roll a 9 after 2 luckies and a d6. And I subtracted the 5 that you rolled. This feels like combat, Tom. Don't worry. I immediately nullified the d6. I approve of gaslighting the GM, given how often GM NPCs gaslight the players. Yeah, a lot of my GM NPCs do gaslight. I'll be fair to my players there. She says, "No, sweetie, I'm not going to give a new customer a discounted price. The regulars and returning customers get a discounted price, which is why, with our new forged bond, I thought of something the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I thought of something that you might be interested in.
What is it?
How do you like your current tattoo?
My magic tattoo?
Yeah.
I like it quite a lot. Yeah. Why?
How would you feel about making it permanent?
Oh. Wait, what do you mean permanent?
So all magic tattoos are removable.
Right.
But if I made it permanent, then you wouldn't have to attune to it.
I could give me the ring back. the ring I gave to you. Don't need that back.
He scrammed out of a ring. I shuffled infusions around.
Just say no takebacks.
I shuffled infusions around is such a funny sentence. Just like,
Margaret, I would love that. I would love a permanent tattoo instead.
I will give you a discount.
Okay.
Only 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh. A bargain.
pretty
I
good.
think. I don't know what money I'm at right now. What money am I
For realsies, in a bargain. It's kind of crazy.
That's insane.
It's kind of crazy. Then yes, I would love that. Oh my god.
It's
So-
like 1/15 of the price of the original tattoo.
So,
yeah,
so
no,
the,
1/6.
the permanent infusion here wouldn't make it identical to the current one. So you need to have a think about this. I don't want to talk too much mechanics with through an NPC, but it would essentially enable you to speak to Nugget permanently,
Mm-hmm.
but you wouldn't get the infusion where you can swap the
Oh,
the
right,
animal
to
that you
who?
talk to instead.
Right.
So it becomes weaker, but it becomes a permanent kind of buff without it being a magical item that you need to attune to. So you get your attunement slot back, which gives you a bit more kind of flexibility, because it does feel a little bit like you have, like if you're playing a character where you have this sentient bat that you want to talk to, it feels a little bit restrictive that you have to talk to them. You have to have this item attuned to all the time. So if you're willing to spend the money, then it will be sort of down regulated. Like it's not going to be as good.
Yeah.
But it's
But it
a
has what you
permanent,
want.
a permanent ability to talk to specifically Nugget, not any old animal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, worth it for sure. For me.
Right.
Especially because Nugget can talk to the other animals in a lot of cases. So just as a side comment.
So for context for anyone else who's not, if this wasn't clear enough, Oro is currently attuned to a magical item that is a tattoo. That tattoo enables her to speak to a specific animal, pretty much permanently. But once per day, she can change that attunement to a different animal. Currently, it is pretty much permanently on her ranger companion, Nugget, the giant bat. But this is an option to have it only to Nugget forever, but free up that attunement slot again.
Yeah. Taking her up on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, all in one sitting.
All in one sitting. This, your completionist's tattoo becomes complete with a... Next to it, you have the Crunchy Margaret little tattoo. She asks you pointedly if she can put herself in the completionist's tattoo, and it sounds like a joke, but you're not fully sure. So you do tell her to put it somewhere else, just because. But you managed to frame it as oh no, I think I would love it if it was here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, rather than being like, you're not part of the completionists, fuck off. It was more like, oh no, I think it would look much better here, like that kind of thing.
Part of the completionists probably give discounts to members.
Valid. So you're going to be there for a few hours.
Okay.
Anything else the rest of the party want to try and do?
I have two things, but I don't know if I want to do one of them because I've just reread the rules for it, and it's incredibly expensive.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make a backup spell book of all of Athale's spells.
Okay.
At the monastery.
Yeah.
But it costs you like 10 gold per spell level, and at the 13th level, you have a lot of spells.
What's the grand total?
I was just about to work that out, but I haven't got it. Oh wait, I can do this really easily, can I? I say really easily. The other thing I wanted to do was, while I write all this out, is I would like to search the monastery for any spell scrolls that there might be that I might also spend a shit ton of money copying.
Okay. So they have a comprehensive library of all wizard spells from level 1 to 3.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a lot of spells.
Yeah.
Level 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's 670 gold, I think, to make a backup copy of Athale's current spellbook.
How much, sorry?
670 gold. Of 67 levels worth of spells.
This is how you know you're high level and you haven't spent a lot of money. I was like, oh, only 600 gold. That's great.
Well, that
But
would.
I'm a sorcerer. I don't need
that would-
materials. Like, I don't
Okay.
spend money on hardly anything.
Yeah. Athale has a lot of money. Still, but also.
It's an expensive day.
It's an expensive day, but if, like, your book goes up in flames, then you literally have no spells. And then you're a 13th level wizard who has no spells.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why Elrond is currently useless.
Other than
Oh.
cantrips. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to go and find them and relearn them all.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Which means, and Athale is not going to buy a tattoo. On principle.
On principle.
It's not going to accept a deal. He doesn't know what he's getting. He's already
Fair
done that
enough,
once.
yeah.
Happened
Yeah, yeah.
happened in the with the Ifrit. He won't accept that deal. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
so I think Athale will spend some time making a copy of his entire spellbook. And then, well,
Okay.
after talking to Headmistress Lyra and being like, you can look after this, right?
Wait, so you're going to make a copy and then hand it to Headmistress Laria and be like, hold on to this?
I want to like arrange with her like safekeeping of this book because it seems like a good place to keep a book safe.
And we do have the ability
yeah.
to teleport here. So
That's
if it were to
true.
go up in flames, we could just like pop to the safe library, grab the book again, head back.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, I'm sorry to maybe put a downer on this, but have we not just spent like several sessions on basically summing up why this place isn't actually that secure?
I mean, there's still a lot of books here.
But still,
It's one of the most secure places.
To be fair, it was just the people that were in danger at first. The books only became in danger when they were turned into like a homunculus.
Well, yeah. What if you spell
animated-
it that's turned into some horrible paper-based
Well,
dragon?
then I'll still have this one.
But surely there's like a locked away forbidden section. It can just go in there.
Yeah, you've been in them.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just walked
I
out of them freely.
just walked right into it.
Right, but we're special, you know. That's not every
you didn't
day
walk
that
right into it.
level
There was
12,
a protective
13
spell that you had to
I
dispel.
I dispelled
Yeah.
the ward. Fair.
Dear me.
So yeah, Athale's going to spend some time doing that.
Okay.
I'm spending all of my money.
Nearly haiku. Any final things you want to get doing whilst you're spending some time at the monastery?
I do need to go resurrect Miss
Yep.
Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mark off one of my 3 diamonds worth 500 gold pieces.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do that, and she'll do it similarly ritualistically, and with the same sort of like care and compassion that she has before. I think we had them put Jewel's body somewhere and like clean her up a bit.
I think she was in the cloister in the upper level, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So go and perform that, and then I think that's basically the only thing she really needs to do until everybody else is done with their stuff. But that means that afterwards, since I was given that Ogma hint about the Aarakocra fashion show, you should just kind of wandering around, looking at all the books, see if anything about Aarakocra fashion jumps out at her as being interesting. Just, trying to be like, well, maybe I can figure out what the hell this means before I go, and if not, we shall continue on.
Oh my god. Okay. The fuck did I say about Aarakocra fashion?
It was the Cloak of Feathers. It was about Aarakocra fashion.
Yes, it was.
The first one
Yeah.
was Lost and Found, a positive book about orphans and finding their found families. And that one makes a lot of sense. I don't really think she needs to look too much further into that one. But this Cloak of Feathers one is a bit of a mystery as to how that's going to help her help Randall.
Sure, okay. And you're specifically looking for Aarakocra based fashion material literature.
Literally either any book that she happens to come across that's about Aarakocra fashion, and she'll like probably like flip through the like not the glossary. What is the chapter listings? Yeah, index, things like
Contents
that. See if anything stands out to her. And then also, because it's called the Cloak of Feathers, if anything has like a similar name or something like that to it, then that would become a book of interest as well.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. It needs to be pretty damn high.
Absolutely. Sorry, I forgot to put my tulips in frame. I was going to do that earlier.
Haiku doesn't have a lot of plans, so they probably just helping out others if Neuralink needs help looking for something.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you had nothing better to do, we'd probably just be hanging out together, afraid that this fucking doppelganger is going to show back up and murk one of us. So, yeah.
So there's
in
the
which
DC.
case,
DC is 25.
Okay. In which case, could I perhaps help Haiku, as Haiku, like provide the help action to Haiku as we look for it together?
I will allow this minor metagaming.
Okay.
I mean, I still have the calculator as well. To be fair, which probably
True.
You don't need more advantage. You don't get triple advantage.
Guidance as well.
Investigation. Was it? Sorry?
Table of contents. Thank you, Noko. I was like, what the fuck? I can't remember what that's called.
Oh
You
my
said 25.
god! Holy
I'll
shit!
give you 2.
It was meant to be.
And a 4.
I'm very
Have we
invested.
finally broken Tom? As he set a DC,
And
like,
that
they won't get
D6
this. This
you've
isn't
got
going to be a
next,
problem.
that's a combat D6, Tom.
Oh, I just can't believe I set you this is probably a bit too hard for Neurally, and then you were like, what if I get Haiku to do it? And I was like, okay, Haiku's probably gonna have a bit more luck with it. And then you rolled 2 25s.
That was just
Fucking
me
hell.
telling you
And
that
that
we
was just a
deserve this
15
information.
roll as well.
So even if I had the other D6 to subtract from it, it wouldn't even go. Like, because if I subtracted 5 from 125, the other one would immediately be fucking
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
That's the
Wow.
dice giving you the middle finger right there, Tom.
Yeah, that's the dice saying they get to know. Now Tom has to make up Aarakocra lore. Oh, okay. So, whilst you do find a couple of what would essentially be they're more like magazines rather than anything about kind of Aarakocra fashion. And a lot of it is to do with very specific tailoring. It's about the ability to make clothing that fits feathered folk and individuals who have wings, so that they can keep form-fitting, but whilst also keep the functionality of for enabling them to actually fly to different places. And some of the in-depth conversation is a little bit lost to you because it's about certain materials they need to kind of use more than others if they want to try and keep the weight of the garment under a certain amount in combination with other common items that they might use so that they can still fly, and that has to be accounted for depending on the weight of the bird and all that kind of stuff. And that kind of doesn't ring any bells. Nothing there seems to fit. And you really kind of struggle to see how any of this intertwines with anything else. But whilst you are kind of idly flapping through some chapters of a book, you mentioned during your kind of vacation you would do a little bit of browsing around different religions, and you have some downtime. Everyone else is getting their tats done, so why not? You sit back and you start paging through. And surely enough, this is both of you and Haiku leafing through these tomes. You start to see a very messy tome that is less like illuminated and less like written out formally and more handwritten. As you start to leaf through it, you see that it is about symbology in different religions. And at times the handwriting becomes illegible, like completely impossible to read. But as you're going through, you are able to pick up all sorts of symbology that you would otherwise see in things like for Ogma and for Helm and Milil and all these other different Sune and these different religions, and that you see kind of alternative symbology where you can see, like for example, for Selune, you see the usual kind of stars that you can immediately kind of connect to it. But there's one kind of section that the handwriting really starts to get completely illegible. It's impossible. But you see some kind of scribbling that turns into like the text literally trails off and connects into this diagram of a kind of a perched raven with his wings forward, and there's the feathers of the wings, they are both forward, kind of wrap around almost as if they are looked like they're draping into a cloak. The feathers then kind of move downwards into a much longer, full-length cloak. So it's not that you kind of sort of deduce, perhaps, that this is where your brain has gone after having done this previous, ritual that you did that day. That it's not Aarakocra fashion that you need to be concerned about. It's the title of the book.
Okay. And what does it say? What god or being or entity this symbology relates to? Okay. So I feel like she's kind of like doing her best to investigate, but relying on her intelligent friend to like find this book. And I think when Haiku finds it, you haven't seen her really super like positively excited about a thing in a while, because just like a lot of bad things obviously have happened over and over again, and the realization that we got here, the number of days that we rested late to save Master Kulth has really been like heavily weighing on her, and she's been pretty like morose. So just like the whole thing has been like a really disappointing situation, right? And
she's doing a lot of self-blaming here.
Yes, she's a lot of self-blaming, a lot of survivor guilt type stuff going on. And you see her like light up with like genuine happiness for the first time in a long time, and she gives you like a huge hug and like has flipping through this book and like comes to you super excitedly, showing you the symbol and telling you about what she had gone and done in the it wasn't the cloister that I was in. It was in the ritual room.
Yeah,
it was a cloister. Okay, yeah.
Well, that's the same thing for this.
Okay, perfect. So you get the full story. I don't think she had talked to anyone about it yet, so Haiku gets the full story of her going up, figuring out how to approach Ogma, doing the reading, doing the writing, and getting this like message about like what we can do to help Randall, who seems trapped, or to like ease things for him. Like she's not really sure to what end, but she has been told these things and that this symbol matters. So Haiku is in the loop now too. I think I'm gonna like hand sketch into my prayer book. Not into the prayer book. No, not into the prayer book. Into a different book, like a journal. She's gonna hand sketch it into the journal. The symbol exactly as it is.
Love the idea of your brain going, I'm not defiling my prayer book with this.
It's partially that and partially like symbols hold power.
Oh yeah.
What if she like calls forth power into the, it's like a little bit of like defacing, but also like what might I be calling upon myself if I record this in a holy text,
Okay. Cool. Fantastic. So, was there anything in particular that Haiku wanted to do with the downtime, or are you happy with your time spent helping Nerly?
I mean, yeah, they've been mainly helping Nerly. I think the back of the mind are thinking about spells potentially. I mean, changing them up when the next get a chance. But you know, unlike others, I can just think about it and do it. I don't have to go off and research or copy things down.
The shade. Poor Nerly has to level up. Nerly has to level up.
Yeah, it's like a scale between Haiku and Nerly. And Thale's somewhere in the middle.
Probably having a look at the nice new ring that they've got, the ring of the ram.
Yeah.
So they've now got 2 rings, I believe.
Yeah. So you got the ring of the ram.
Protection.
Did you not also have the fancy? Did you not pick up Oro's ring?
No, that transaction fell through.
Oh, you gave it back?
As soon as it was like you could get another attunement spell, Oro ran over to Haiku.
Give it back.
Haiku was just stood there, and like the ring just disappeared off her finger. What the fuck's happened there?
Fucking stole it off you.
I was talking to Jenny earlier. I was like pretty sure that ring in particular was one that I had like homebrewed. Like you can't rely just on the DMG and some third-party stuff for your magical items because it's fairly limiting. And +1 to all skills is pretty sick, but it's also not like impossible. That doesn't require a huge amount of balancing to be made. And I was like, I don't know if I actually ever named it. Oh, it should be called the Ring of the Jack of All Trades. And he was like, oh no, I want to keep it more.
You named it.
Yeah, I named it.
Name. It also means it's going to
Just call it Jack's ring for short. But not
on Haiku at all.
It's alright. I hadn't had it long enough. I had like a tan line around where it'd been.
Also, hadn't had long enough to attune to it, so that's valid.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If that happened, it'd have been hell to pay.
I get the ring this week. You get the ring next week.
Yeah.
shared custody.
You'll have it every weekend.
Right. So, everyone happy with their downtime? You probably have a rest in the lodgings that you've got next door to the monastery, and then the next day, hop, skip, jump back over to Nesmith.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the last thing, it occurs to me just now, knowing that Ithale has ties to the Raven Queen, the last thing Nerly would do either that night or in the morning would be to show the symbol to Ithale and see if it sparks any knowledge or memories from them.
Fail. You immediately recognize it as a symbol of the Raven Queen.
Yes, that's the Raven Queen's symbol.
Really? Huh.
Yes, I would not mistake it anyway.
While everyone was busy, I might have had a little bit of a talk with Ogma and asked what could be done to help or to ease the suffering of an old friend who is in a bit of an interesting situation. And this was one of the symbols that I was given. It's kind of a long story, but if somebody were like trapped between life and death, would the Raven Queen have something to do with that?
It is often said that as those meet their end, they stand before the Raven Queen. So, yes. Particularly those who have had unfortunate lives. Things that she is interested in, or she has been made to be interested in. Sorrow, sadness.
Yeah. Does the Raven Queen celebrate that sorrow, or would she make those people at peace?
That is a good question. I have never been in that situation, so I do not think that she extends that. It is more of a collection than a torture.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And then she
You are
scurries off.
welcome. Yeah.
Cool.
And the very last thing she does before we leave is goes and finds a book about the Raven Queen and how to pray to the Raven Queen.
You won't find one.
Damn.
It's the Raven Queen is not a especially well-known deity in Faerun.
Oh, she's like hipster.
She's. I would absolutely say
Underground.
it is. She is underground. Yes.
Sick.
Subculture deity. Oh my
Yeah.
god, we learned about her before it was cool. Wow.
God, I got a tattoo of her before it was cool.
So you don't find anything like common literature doesn't really ever refer to the Raven Queen, and if it does, it usually gets it wrong. In fact, even books that you found that have referred to the Raven Queen in forbidden sections, Ethel has discarded because they have been rubbish.
Fantastic.
So the only text that you have managed to find is a scribbling handwriting that doesn't really say anything, that has a depiction, one of the Raven Queen's symbols, and not even the main one. And that's pretty much the best that you've managed to find.
I don't mean to hang us up on this, but I've just had a thought. We have one more little bottle of the weird inky liquid that makes you see the moths and the stuff. And I don't wonder if the illegible scribblings would be legible if I consumed it. Oof. Because this is a library that doesn't actually let you borrow the books, right? You don't get to take it. You can stay here and study, but you can't take them with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it yet, but she's going to think about it for however long we're off on our next adventure. And maybe come back and do it later.
Or if you suddenly need that for some other reason, just whip out the note.
Yeah, like the last thing I want to do is be like, I wonder if this helps me read this book. And then we end up in a situation where like life and death is like, can you see the moths? And I'm like, ooh, so about the potion. I really wanted to see if I could read secret messages in a book. Anyway, carrying on.
So you guys finish your evening. You have the very modest and probably prestidigitation enhanced offerings of the lodgings for your evening meal and your breakfast after you wake up, fully rested, with spells changed if necessary, items attuned to now if necessary, etc., etc.
Nice.
Okay. Wonderful. Cool. So the next day, you guys are ready to say goodbye to the members of the monastery. They give you a little bit of a wave at the door as you teleport. You don't even need to leave the door. You can just walk. You can just
They're at the door leaving, and we're in the teleport thing. We just disappear.
A wave at the door to the teleportation room.
You say goodbye to Margaret and to your newfound friends, the monastery. And you arrive at Nesmith. Do you find Evelyn? Or Evelyn? She, at least you don't initially see her, you hear her. which is impressive given that she is mute. But what you hear is a whack, quack, 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 quack.
What's going on?
You
Not
see
chopping
that
vegetables, I
the
assume.
not chopping vegetables. You see that the layout of the mansion hasn't changed an awful lot since the last time that you were there, but there have been some new additions. You feel free to investigate however you feel, but you find in particular that there have been some new additions to the kind of the outside garden area. This is just kind of the lawn outside the front, really. And that addition includes mannequins, practice mannequins. So there are some straw practice mannequins that have been placed. And you see, as you look out the window, that Evelyn is there with a short, kind of wooden sword, and you can see that on the leaning against a small stump next to a fence, a couple of feet away, is a very poorly made short bow.
Oh.
That's adorable. Does Parsnip also have a sword, like the dogs on TikTok that does the sword fighting?
No, but you do see. This is. I mean, if you watch long enough, I assume you guys kind of you arrive and you make your way down to see Evelyn. You kind of look out the window and you watch her for a little bit, and you see that she whistles. And she gives two short, sharp kind of whistles, and Parsnip comes bounding around the corner and latches onto one of the mannequins and starts ripping it into pieces.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
Oh,
It's turning into a ranger. I clap.
She turns around and she sees you guys, and she signs to you. Oh my god, hi! What are you doing here? And she runs over to give you a hug.
I think Haiku's the only one that can understand the signing, right? Or did I? I think I learned a little bit of it.
You learned
Yeah.
it, and Haiku's got a
Right.
Haiku
Okay.
cheated.
Haiku cheated.
Hey, work smarter, not harder. It's not cheating.
I don't think it was any less hard.
Um,
It forces my fingers to mimic. To
Yeah.
doing.
Give her a big hug. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. How are you?
She signs to you that she's doing really well. She's a little bit embarrassed by the mannequins and you guys finding her with the in the middle of practice, and she's very coy about it. But if you kind of push her a little bit, she says that she's been practicing, but only for workout stuff. It's nothing serious. She's just working out.
Yeah. Do what your heart desires, dear one.
I'm just working out. Just working out. Just getting a.
Shouldn't be embarrassed or ashamed by it. What do you want to do?
I'm just working out.
You
Does she look
enjoyed it?
stronger?
Sorry, that was a lot of voices all at the same time.
It's okay, Katie, you go.
I just asked if she looked stronger. Like I could see
She
the
does.
difference.
You can see that she looks a little bit more toned. You can recognize that. I mean, at this point, she's a young adult, on the very young end of the young adult, and you can see that the practice sword looks worse for wear. The bow has definitely been very cheaply made, and she's picked up whatever budget training stuff that she can from the market in town, and she's been kind of just beating up these tattered old straw mannequins that were also kind of like you can see it's basically kind of stuffed vaguely in the shape of a torso, but doesn't really have any arms. It doesn't have anything else on it. Like it's just the most basic possible thing you can see. But she kind of assigns to you that there's a whole festival. There's a conference, like an event in town for adventurers.
Oh. Like a recruit? Like what kind of event? Like what's happening there?
So they did it last year, and I guess you guys didn't see it because you were in the Feywild, maybe. But
Yeah.
but they did it last year, and it's like a recruitment drive. It's run by the adventuring guys.
Oh. Are you gonna go?
Oh yeah, I was gonna listen. They said they've got some guest speakers. I'm gonna go here. Just there's nothing else to do around here, you know. So Vilithia and Villette are hosting a whole adventuring event. So what they've done, from what you can kind of gather, is that they have like a guest speaking kind of session. They've got modeling like armor that's been built in the market nearby. And they've got like an influx of like quests for the quest board, stuff like that. That's supposed to all be, and they're offering like discounts on new licenses and that kind of thing. And she's you can tell that she's excited to go, but she's too embarrassed to like tell you that she's excited to go about it.
I am instantly planning on going down to the marketplace and getting her like the best equipment, the best armor, the best everything they have. Like, we're sending our baby off, then she's gonna have good shit.
I mean, I could spruce up the mannequins, the training dummies. I'm gonna ask if there's anyone she really doesn't like, and I'll make it in their image. Like, you know, the equivalent, like you know, printing a picture on a dartboard. Something like dream.
Amazing. So she seems quite keen to have you guys tag along.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Oh, this is a fail, by the way.
Did you guys not come through here? No, you didn't come through here before.
Nope.
You guys have never met.
No.
She is the second that she notices a Thale, she gets even more shy. Like she just blushes completely.
What kind of blushing? Just shy blushing, or?
It's hard to tell. Roll an insight check.
Oh, insight. I'm not horrible at that.
You can help if you want to help.
Do I get advantage for being like a mother figure to her?
Yeah, go on.
Yes. 19.
It's possible that she might have maybe found a Thale to be to be an attractive figure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But she's she blushes and she goes she signs that she's got just be right back, and she goes, hides.
It really looks incredibly amused. What did I know we sent a letter to her and some money, so she knows what happened to Randall.
You guys came back via Nesmith before you went to the circus. After you buried Randall here, like, or not?
Right.
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, she has to know, right? Okay.
No, you did bury Randall here.
Remember.
You buried Randall here, and you used Randall's walking staff as and planted it. Well, Thistle planted a tree out of it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
You came through here. You spent some time here.
Yeah, okay, good. We were all like, shit, do we need to tell her?
I know. I was like, I feel like we handled this, but I don't want to just like overlook it because it's been in real life. My brain isn't good. Nerly's brain is great. Mine's not. Not work so good. Okay, perfect. She scurries off, and I kind of like gently nudge Oro, and I like do the like, you know, like you have a conversation with your eyes. I like look at Evelyn scurrying off, and I kind of like head nod to a Thale, and I like lift my eyebrows up.
No way. Oh dear. Poor girl.
Pretty sure.
Poor girl. So the event isn't like the guest speakers are scheduled for about noon, but the rest of the stalls and stuff have been open, and they've been open. A couple of them have sort of been open for a couple of days, like with like low key stock, and the bigger stalls are opening today. After a few minutes of cooling down, Evelyn comes back, and you guys are welcome to walk on into town if you like.
Yup.
Prestidigitation can heat or cool things. Can I cool like a handkerchief and give it to her so she starts to blush? She can put the cool handkerchief on her face. Can you do that? I know I think it says heat or cool food, but it doesn't specify that it's only food. It just talks about the different things you can do.
You just cool some
to you.
peas and then peas.
Could do. Could do.
Classic.
That's funny. Right. Into town you go. I'll give you a bio break in a minute. Before we go into bio breakville, you guys are walking around town. You're exploring some, just observing the setup process early in the day for some of the bigger stalls, and you can see that there are some that are to do with a lot of the local guys have tried to kind of make adventuring related stuff. So the local businesses have set up stalls, and you've got Bill Fizz Stormkettle has managed to set up his stall that's usually in the market, where for the last couple of months you imagine he's been holding back on certain goods and is now selling them all at this event. Primarily, you can see that they are like antidote potions, potions of healing. They don't tend to go much larger than standard. And that kind of thing. You can see there are a couple of special items in there that you suspect that he's included as a they're like small, rather than being like a big production like some of the other stalls. These are stalls where they've got like small labels on and stuff, like small, like kind of essentially like the cardboard written on in pen to say this is what this is for. And he's tried to upsell, so he's kind of done a underwater breathing potion kind of thing, like must have for new adventurers, don't drown, exclamation mark, that kind of thing.
You'll never believe what happens next.
along with a lot of the basics that you might imagine an alchemist might have, including things like torches and flint, that kind of thing. You see that Linus Orsheath from the blacksmithery up that you can see to the northern part of the town has also brought out a lot of his gear, and the gear that he's brought in is all decent quality stuff. He has not been he has not brought out his cheap goods for the market, though you can't imagine there are many other people that Evelyn would have purchased like this kind of equipment from. He's got some pretty much a solid array of pretty much every kind of weapon that you might imagine, limited on quantity in some of them, but for the most part he's got an array of pretty much everything. A lot more short swords than he does have long swords, that kind of thing. But you can also see that there are a couple of other kind of smaller but much fancier looking shops here as well. You can see what's on a different fucking tab. Boutiques. You can see that there is one called Phalas's Treasures of Thentia. And it is a tiny little pop-up. And it is one of the only stalls that appears to be not Phalas, Phalas.
Because
Who
there's
is you to find the difference?
I heard the A is Phalas.
Phalas. There's an F as well. Who has a small collection of magical items. We're talking like absolute starter stuff. We're talking like a small collection of +1 short sword, like that kind of like absolutely bare minimum. A couple of ones that have spell charges on, but they're all like magic missile and stuff like that. There's nothing high level. But they are being upsold you can tell that they're definitely being charged a lot more than they are worth. However, as you're exploring, you bump into Velethia, and she spins around on the spot, clocks 3 of you, has no idea who Athale is, and immediately runs over to you. You can see that she has a kind of what am I talking about? Clipboard with some notes on it. And she runs over to you and
really
she goes,
loud. I'm sorry. I know what you mean.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I need you on stage in like an hour.
What do you mean? What do you mean on stage in an hour?
Listen. We'll pay you the good money. 500 gold pieces per person is pretty good.
To do what?
Anything.
You need to be in the Q&A. We've run out of the people who were supposed to be here. The adventurers that we hired have fucking died. All of them have died, and they're not coming. So we need you to be on our Q&A panel. We've only got one guy up there right now, and he's going to bomb. There's no way that we can get all these budding, excitable adventurers to be excited about adventuring with this one drunk old man.
Oh, yeah.
We'll pay you the standard fee, 500 gold pieces per person. We just need you to get excited about adventuring. Get the crowd excited.
Make it 550 since we're doing it so last minute.
Roll a persuasion check.
Damn it!
Oh no, it's gonna end up being 475.
Unfortunately for you, she is a shrewd customer. This is, you guys are familiar, apart from Athale, with Velethia. She is one of the 2 people who run the adventuring prep store of Nesmith. She's one of the people who's responsible for you getting your license, and thus you have all met her, again, apart from Athale, still unlicensed.
I'm pretty sure they were a set of bards too, so it's just like you're not
There's
gonna.
The 2 of them,
you can't play a player.
but regardless, they spend a lot of time managing people and getting their whole business is charging people and being the middle person or the middle people for other businesses and other quests and stuff. They are a tough customer, and unfortunately, 16 ain't gonna cut it. So they say, "You'll get 500 just like the rest of them. If anything, I'm giving you more than you're worth." All right, I know you, Haiku.
You know me. Look. I'm down on hard times. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying that you're not that worth having on my Q&A panel then? If you're losing items all the time.
Oh, I can vamp. It's fine.
All right. Well, that'll be amazing for 500 gold pieces per person.
Like 500.
That would be great. That'd be great.
Oh, amazing. Now I don't know who you are, but you're getting on stage too. Is that all right?
I suppose.
500 gold pieces isn't sweet enough for you.
Well, it seems like you're rather in a sticky situation.
Well, I mean, with these 3 and one else, I'm fine. But if you want in, I'll pay you the 500 as long as you're a little less. I mean, you're a bit. All right. Oh, it's too late now. I've offered to you.
Athale's going to be terrible at this. This is not Athale's jam.
The more you talk, the more I regret this. So I'm going to go now. All right. You need to be on stage. You'll see some people that we've got around today. You'll be seeing them wearing our merchandise, but the blue alternative versions of them. Okay. So you see that Velethia is wearing a adventuring prep store of Nesmith kind of like cap and like a tabard kind of thing, and there's like a pen in her pocket, like a pencil in her pocket or whatever, like that kind of stuff, like all this kind of branded stuff. And you can see that there is another stall across from a stage and many, many rows of seats that's in the main kind of square, that all have stalls that are in like a blue, sorry, not a green. The ones that you're seeing on staff are blue.
Right.
So she's just like, those guys will help you out. They'll get you set up on the table, and if you need anything, we'll get you some drinks. We'll get you, if you need a little bit of social lubricant to get yourself feeling a bit more chatty, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, you just
I'm fine.
Whatever you need. We'll have a lovely time.
Okay, great. This is great.
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's have a bio break, shall we?
Aura turns around to the group and says, I have just realized that they said that we were all dead at one point, so let's hope that,
Yeah, well, I think we've already kind of blown the cover on that by showing up and the doppelganger getting away and halfway saving and resurrecting the entire monastery. Like, word's gonna get out. I'm concerned that somebody dangerous is going to be here, so maybe we just put Evelyn somewhere very safe.
What if they ask a question? It's a Q&A. What if you ask a question about it? Do we go no comment, or is that more suspicious? Do we tell the truth? Do we make something up?
What is a Q&A?
Oh, question and answer. They're going to have the excited new wave of adventurers ask us questions about our exploits, probably.
And then you just tell them about your experiences.
Mm-hmm. Good and bad, because you don't want people to not understand what they're getting into.
Yeah.
How about we all spend time thinking of how we want to tackle the issue of maybe revealing that we're not dead after all in kind of our home base, and then we reconvene in a moment to decide what the best way forward is.
Yeah.
That seems sensible.
God,
I just say sensible. What is the sun doing to
all
me?
this sunlight.
Oh no!
Me sensible.
I'm a shell of the Tortle I used to be.
Oh my god.
You're more shell than you used to be, really.
That's true.
Valid.
Feels like it's growing.
Okay. Right. For those of you who aren't familiar, our bio breaks are very short. We go for, let's say, about 5 minutes. We're not timed. We do our business and we come right back. So if you need the impetus, here it is. Go, drink, stretch, do whatever you've been putting off for a couple of minutes. We'll be back shortly. In the meantime, say hello to Jack.
Say hello to Jack. I'm going to run some ads in the meantime.
I'll literally just jam it into her mouth and fire. Wow. This what the? You've created the most peculiar scene there, Papaya. Like, you know, myself just arriving, a picture of me being there, and then one of my voice lines. How odd! Hello, Papaya. Hello, Cyborg. Classic. I got back just in time, Doc. Basically, as soon as I put my headphones on, one of my voice lines was playing out.
Ah,
Yeah. While there's also a picture of me on the screen.
it's like you're
from me
really
on the
here.
Camera. It was very, very strange.
Oh, hi, Fire. Thanks for the biddies to use that.
What was the voice line?
Jam it in her mouth.
Let's check it out.
Oh yeah. Classic. Hi Paps, nice to see you, bud. How you been?
Oh, Pap, it's a-
Also, just reading that notification. He used 125 bits to play Jam It in Her Mouth. Interesting game.
Ooh. Thank you for buying. Not AI, Jack. Ew.
Rez.
It's taking me significantly longer to change all these spells than I was expecting. Feels like I should have prepared this in the first place.
Wait, I told you to prepare them earlier today.
You did. That was makes it even worse.
Oh, dear.
You made it sound like you had.
I'm good at that.
Oh dear.
Good grief.
Problem is, if they're from like Tasha's or Xanathar's, you've got to like manually type everything in.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
copy paste
it's a
it.
bit of a pain.
You think? Okay, I can. Kitty,
Yes.
would you be offended if I also took Cure Wounds?
If you also took what?
Cure Wounds.
No. No, please do. So that if I go down, someone can bring me back.
Oh, actually, yeah, shit.
Thus far, if I go down, if we don't have a potion, we've been kind of screwed.
No, you've got the one healing dart that Oro has at a time.
Yes.
Oh, that's true.
Because we
Oh,
definitely
God.
Emergency.
got that.
Emergency dart.
Yeah, it's 1d4
Emergency
though. It's
dart.
not a lot.
It's enough.
It's enough to bring me back to consciousness. By the way, look at these fucking tulips I found.
They're
They're
beautiful.
beautiful. And you
Mm.
can't see super well, but they have, let me see if I can turn one slightly. They have like green stripes on them.
Ooh.
It's like pink and green.
Wow, pretty.
I got them at Pike's Place Market.
Ooh.
I don't
They're
know what
beautiful.
that is.
It's
They are
tulip
pretty.
season. Oh, it's like a famous like artist alley, small business. It's like a huge thing
Oh.
off the water in Seattle, and it's got just like it's a huge area, and the artists can just like sign up for spaces, and so it's a bunch of like independent local small businesses showing up with like
Ooh.
the flowers they grew or the stickers they made or the t-shirts they
Ah.
printed.
Oh.
And so I got that, and I got this cool my stream background isn't set up yet, but when it is, I'm gonna have a bunch of cool local art. And she wrapped it up for me, this cool flower picture made out of like fabric that she encased in something or other. She told me, and I forget what it was. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, pretty.
It's all
Wow.
pieces of fabric that she put together.
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I like it a lot.
Cool. Thank you for subscribing for 47 months, Papaya. Nice fucking tulips.
Wow.
Nice
Nice fucking
fucking
tulips.
tulips. Okay. That's the teacher in him act prepared. Man, if you show up to a teaching session and you aren't prepared, it's for me the worst feeling. Oh my god. Okay.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, but that's because our teaching experiences are extremely different. You can just rock up to a session with nothing and do fine. Definitely not possible at university. You just can't do it. You can't do it.
I also feel like it's one of those things where it's like math is like, I don't have an exact plan of what I'm going to talk about today, but we're talking about statistics, so we'll talk about statistics. And whereas like the brain, we still don't even fully understand, you know. You can't just like vamp about the brain for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's like we don't even really understand, man. I don't even know.
You gotta bring expectations down.
Yeah.
Okay. So, shall we do a Q&A, guys?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I want to talk to Evelyn first, or Evelyn.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you know how we were pronounced dead by someone, and they told everyone we were dead, right? You heard that?
You haven't had this conversation yet.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, you haven't told her, by the way, we're alive still. But also, like, the news seemingly just never arrived to her.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Maybe it's very localized.
Haikyuu's just awkwardly translating all of this.
Wait, I know sign language too. But you could do it
yeah,
too.
let's go.
Oh, no need them.
We were fighting a guy, a big bad guy. To give you the TLDR, we were fighting a big bad guy, and they thought that we died in the fight. So they sent, or at least they sent my mom at the circus, a thing saying that we're all dead. So it's weird that you didn't get that, given that Randall died in that fight and Randall lived here. So anyway, we won't get into that too much. But
well, she signs to you. Oh, that explains why that guy came to like appraise the house.
Appraise the house?
Excuse me?
Yeah, so she signs to you because she sort of explains. Just imagine the NPC is named Evelyn or Evelyn.
Last name or
her name is canonically is Evelyn, but it's spelt Evelyn.
Oh shit!
So it's
yes.
So this whole time I've just been saying it wrong, and that's
which is what trips me up.
Oh.
You say it correctly but wrong. Because the name is
like
Evelyn, but her name is Evelyn. Anyway. But she expresses to you that basically someone at some point came around claiming to be a royal kind of not like tax collector, but like like an audit person, an auditor. That'll do, an auditor, to evaluate the value of the property. But she'd assumed it was because Randall had already died. Like she knew that Randall was dead,
right?
So that maybe there was something to do with that.
We should.
And she wrote down and said that Randall died, but the house was passed on, and he left.
Oh. We should maybe
what
make
look like.
Oh.
Small bowling white man.
Oh, so many of those.
Wow.
we're never going to be that.
Dime a dozen that. Not Garius.
We should maybe look into that separately outside of this conversation, just to make sure the house is in someone's name and not going to be taken away from her. What was I trying to say at the beginning? People think that we might have died, but this going up to a Q&A makes us very obvious that we are alive, and someone might want to... I don't know, we're always on edge that someone's going to want to hurt us. And I'm going to give Evelyn an extra dagger that I have of mine. I wanted to give her a bunch of stuff, but for right now in this like private environment I want you to have a sort of protection that you can have. If you need to go back to the house, we'll be fine. Don't fight for us. Just go away and hide somewhere at the house. And I give her a dagger I have.
To be fair, we're going to be surrounded by other adventurers, at least prospective adventurers. Like, I feel like just naturally security would be quite good there.
Aura's very paranoid.
Oh,
she's very grateful. She's very appreciative of the protectiveness, because she sees right through it. She sees that it's you being protective, and she's very excited to get a dagger that's not made of wood or rusted. She's very happy about it, but you read her right back that you've said, if anything happens, get out of there. Don't fight for us. She's gone like, yeah, sure. Like she's done a face. She's nodded. Yeah, no, of course. But you immediately see that that's bullshit.
I can keep her alive. It's fine.
Yeah.
Me pointing at Tom very sternly. I have diamonds. God damn it.
What we'll do, you guys are welcome to derail us a little bit if you want to go forward, but what we'll do is there is going to be a Q&A. If anyone in the chat wants to come up with questions that are Q&A worthy, you're welcome to contribute them. They may be something that the character can answer, or maybe something that the players want to answer outside of character, that's fine. But I do have questions that will be answered as well by your panel member, because you're not completely alone up there. But Adam's asked, so with that in mind, how attractive would you think someone is if they were described as quite attractive? I think Katie has nailed it. Because if you say someone is quite attractive, that's very different being like, quite attractive.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I need to know the inflection.
But you're also, it's also fair to understand that, like, I think in Britain we definitely do have a different take on what the word quite means. But again, it's 90% inflection.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, Katie's nailed it on the head there. It's pretty much just.
How does your quite different from our quite?
Well, it's all around that inflection. It's just like as kind of as I've identified there. It's like quite good. It's quite good.
I feel like if someone's quite attractive, then they're like pretty attractive for a normal person, and if someone's quite attractive, then they're like Jensen Ackles, right? Like
whoever that is, yeah.
He's uncultured.
Just Google him and you'll understand.
Is that the supernatural guy?
I've never seen an episode of Supernatural. I've just seen clips of him. Yeah. That is the most perfect face I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, so you guys are ushered up to the stage. You've got some kind of teenager locals kind of looking after you. There is a slender femme tabaxi who has the blue kind of merch on, who comes up shaking a little bit and puts a glass of water on each of your tables. And there is a kind of a mask. Oh crap! Fuck. Race, not race, species. So I give them a gnome, a masked gnome that comes over and offers makeup touch-ups.
Oh shit!
But they have to do it from standing on top of the desk. And they offer you guys of touch-ups if you fancy them. If anyone takes them up, feel free to suggest what you would like. Any highlights, anything like that. Any blush. They're very excited to help you out.
I want to say yes, just because I want to see what they do to Nerali's face, and if it like actually makes a difference.
These are great questions, by the way, chat. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the questions. So, you guys, how did you convince your parents to let you adventure? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go through the questions that I've got prepped, and then we'll have a look in the chat to see if any of these are ones that you want to answer as well.
I love some of those already.
So you guys are left on stage, and as the crowd starts to build up, you can see that there are maybe 75 people on these chairs of varying species, of varying age, varying gender identities, all kind of sat around, and some of them.
Did you have to wait for both your parents to die before you became an adventurer?
I think we need a question moderator. Move on.
Yeah,
Get the microphone off of them.
But you can also see that there are some members of the audience who look like adventurers and people who have seen some action themselves, and at varying degrees. It looks like some people who are literally just walked out of their first dungeon, but you've also seen some kind of more scarred veterans out in the crowd as well. Next to you, at the end of the stage, is one very kind of we say ruggedly handsome kind of mask presenting black guy who is a definite human, but looks rough in that they have been kind of in the drink a little bit, and it's hard to say what it is. He kind of nods to you as you guys come over, and he says, "I don't know what happened to the other guys. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you. I'm Oro.
Nice to meet you.
It's all right.
Dead, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Too loud.
Hey. Yeah. We're here for a fun time to get some cash dollar to make these guys feel good. So if you want to just give it a bit of zhuzh. If you could do most of the zhuzh, we had a member of our party not make it through the last one, so I'm recovering a little bit. So just go easy on me. I've been adventuring 5 years now, I think. And this isn't the first party member I've lost, but it doesn't get easier. I want to keep the pep up for the newbies, but I know that you might have to do some of the heavy lifting today.
Yeah.
We understand.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Most of us.
Here we go. You got your waters. Do you need anything to pop it up a little bit? And he brings a little hip flask out.
No, thank you.
No social lubricant, as she described it.
Nah, I don't need any of that.
We're all quite socially adept.
Katie laughed, nearly chortled. She was
Can you live in a dungeon after you clear it out?
really great question, actually.
So good.
I'm the new boss here.
Oh, I'm so excited for all these questions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's such a funny voice line. Okay. The crowd is silenced by Lithia, who walks across the stage and says, "Now we've got some honored guests here today to give us a bit of a talk. The lineup has changed somewhat. That being said, we have the completionists." And there's a kind of a round of applause. I know, locals have come back and they're ready and willing to talk to you about their amazing accomplishments. I'm so happy to have them here. I'm sure you guys are happy too. Let's get on with some of these questions now, eh? And first question that comes from the crowd. A sending stone is passed around, and the sending stone is set up to these kind of two like obelisks either side of the stage that blast the question back out, and the sending stone is passed around, and someone who looks like they are wearing some adventuring gear, but it's pretty it's pretty brand new. It looks like they're fresh off, ready to get into the dungeons. And they say, "What's your least favourite monster to fight?" Now, I'd like some answers just from the crowd, from you guys. Anyone, if you want to give individual answers, you can. If there's not anything particular that kind of jumps out to you, any particular monsters. This doesn't even have to necessarily be in a campaign, in this specific campaign. If you know of a monster from another campaign that you've played in or you've read about, etc., you can be like, "Oh, I've heard of this monster," rather than...
Atheo immediately has an answer for this one.
Go for it.
I do not like to fight things that hide in the shadows and do not come out and fight. They sleuth around and hide behind other faces.
Oh, cowards then, eh?
Exactly.
Don't like cowards. You hear
Give a fail a little shoulder pat.
Gentleman is called Pontin, by the way. The guy next to you. He says, Basilisk. Every time, Basilisk. We lost
I've
our.
heard of those. They like freeze you, right? They.
Yes, they do. They do. They turn you into stone. They
that's
fuck
even
you
worse than I
up. And
All the parents in the crowd like cover their children.
they ruin your life. You get smashed to bits, and then your party can't put you back together again, and they are down a wizard forever.
Personally, mine is dragons. I know we talk about them all the time, big dragons, big scary dragons, but they're annoying because there's lots of different types of dragons. You don't know which type of dragon it's going to be, and you got to find out, and then you got to tailor your how you're attacking, blah blah blah. Thank God I have a bat, so at least I can fly if they're flying, but if you don't, it's a bit annoying. But every enemy's got their strengths and their weaknesses. You gotta figure out what their weaknesses are and really play on their weaknesses.
Wow, good answer. Very good answer. The crowd gives you a little round of applause. Yeah, wow, that's a great answer. Great answer. Anyone else got any thoughts about this particular question before we move on?
I personally think I hate fighting other people the most because I find usually there's some sort of hardship that has fallen on them that has led them to feel like that is the only option that they have, and it's just very sad to have to see that kind of loss of life when there are other
What if
paths
they're
that could be
evil?
taken. I mean, if they're objectively evil, it's definitely less sad.
Yeah.
I think I'd agree with Nerly there. I mean, a lot of monsters are just animals, and it's their sort of base instinct to do what they do. Whereas, fellow humanoids, adventurers, etc., that's a conscious decision they're making most of the time, and it's kind of,
Anyone
somewhat horrific.
If it gets to this point, please do.
What the fuck? That's so fucked up. Whilst Jack's talking. That's funny. Oh, I'm glad that was papaya because that papaya didn't mean that as an assault. That was very funny. Oh my goodness. A valid answer.
That's fine.
A valid answer. So the stone is passed to another member of the audience, and I'm not going to do different voices for every single one of these.
Oh.
What was your favorite quest to date?
Ooh. Mm.
I need a second to go back through my notes.
What was that question again, sorry?
What was your favorite quest to date?
Wow, I've forgotten every quest we've ever done.
This whole Q&A setup is just me bullying my players live on stream.
I can tell you it wasn't our trip into the Feywild. I started turning into a tree.
What?
Well, we got transported to the Feywild, and myself and Nugget, I assume Nugget's somewhere within sight. Surely they're up with us.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and Nugget had started turning into a tree, slowly but surely.
What is the Feywild?
Oh, it's a different plane of existence.
What is a plane?
a realm, imagine an island, but you can't get to it in conventional methods.
Oh my gosh. You are powerful adventurers to go to such places.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but yeah.
The guy next to you, Pontin, says, Lux, our rogue, managed to find an actual treasure map. So we went around for about a week, following this treasure map all around this little quaint little town in the middle of nowhere, and the keen townsfolk were cheering us on. They seemed really into it. They were really excited to hear what we'd find, thinking it was some long lost treasure of like a local lord or an old king forgotten in the ages past. And we found it, and we opened this treasure box, this little wooden treasure box that doesn't even have a lock on it. And in it is a plushie and some hard candies. And I thought to myself, I knew that map was drawn really badly.
Yeah.
And he just takes a big swig of his drink.
Wow. Was the plushie at least cute?
No.
Oh.
Darn.
It was a basilisk.
Oh dear.
Can't even touch it because it freezes you.
I'm not sure if this specifically could be called a quest, but although some of us didn't have as good of a time in the Feywild, we did get to have a fun water race with some axolotls. They were very cute.
Yeah. That's mine too. Sure.
Oh, and there was that frog guy.
A sexy frog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Some might describe them that
Yeah,
way.
it
Hmm.
was sexy.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Just, not a universal experience.
Yeah. Next
They
question.
were
That was his
very cute
favourite.
axolotls.
They were all what a quest. Wow. Anyone else?
Well,
trying to-
I've already answered, but the competition we took part in, the dungeon race.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good one too.
It was like, we've gone in, we've tried our best. There was there was danger, but it wasn't like end of the world type danger. No, we won, which was also a big bonus. Got some cool prizes and money from that, and I got laid afterwards. So
What more do you want for
bonus
an
all
adventure?
around.
Does that happen a lot as adventurers?
I mean, I
It
can't
does
speak
for
for the
some
others.
people. I just look at Haiku.
Yeah.
Sick.
Haiku just leans back on the chair.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to answer before we move to the next question?
I agree with the
Yeah.
axolotl race.
Good.
Mhm.
It's a bit early for
Also,
a
while we were there, we saw unicorns. Again, not exactly a
Oh,
quest, but
yeah.
happened while on a quest, and that was really cool. Nerly will die sad. This is not said out loud, but Nerly will die sad that she didn't manage to get the teleportation circle memorized to the unicorns in time.
One regret.
What is the most useful item you have on your used on your adventures?
Oh, interesting.
It is this.
I already know what Haiku's answer is going to be.
Just like do a flourish with the whip. It is handed down to me by my school, and it allows me to maneuver on the battlefield effectively. It's also cool as fuck.
It's indeed cool as fuck. Yes, very cool.
It's cool as fuck. You know, it might be a boring answer, but rope, you know? You're given rope at the start, and it is actually really useful for so many different things. Don't just toss it aside.
What magical item is the most useful? What useful magical item? I have lots of rope.
Good. I don't have many magical.
I got a magic flower from a tree lady who it made all my spells stronger for a while, and then it saved me from a big danger, and then it disappeared. It was really pretty turquoise lily.
We have.
If you can get your hands on an immovable rod, can
Oh
recommend.
yeah.
That's proved quite useful in a few scenarios.
Honestly, I think we've used it at least once every time we've set out to do something.
Yeah.
Quite often, isn't it?
The gentleman with you says an animated shield.
Oh.
Never underestimate good armor until it fails and your comrades get stuck by arrows. But I saw a spellcaster once get hit in the head by a gold coin that was thrown at such velocity by a giant that it killed them instantly. And I bought a helmet that day.
This is another one of those situations where if Nurley had lesser restoration, I could sober him up. I just didn't take lesser restoration for some reason. So many times I have regretted not taking lesser restoration. Because weirdly, greater restoration doesn't do that. Greater restoration does not help with poisons.
Oh. Any final thoughts, Aro, before we move on to the next question?
I have a flaming sword that's pretty neat.
Well, that is sick.
Yeah.
You should show them.
Get it out.
Get it out. She stands on the table so she's like far enough away from like any sort of like obstacle that's gonna like hit the flames, and she activates the flame.
Whoosh. Oh, woo, yeah.
And then puts it back.
All right. Cloud goes wild. Okay. Next question is I'm trying to think of a voice. What's your favorite location to visit? That's nondescript. All right, it wasn't a particular accent.
Yeah,
it's just a tiny little voice.
Tiny little ant on the ground.
If it was like 6 or 60.
I used to be able to do a higher pitched voice, but I'm too old now.
I took an arrow to the knee.
Took an arrow to the vocal cords. Nearly trying not to say the Feywild.
Fontaine interrupts and he comes and he answers it first. He says, "The Blushing Kiss Inn in Deadlock. You should give it a visit. They have this great little fairy dragon that makes your drinks and your food taste like cotton candy. It's amazing. You should go there right now. Why are you here when you could be at the Blushing Kiss? That fairy dragon, what was her name? Something great. They were wonderful."
Shiver?
I know what her name is.
No, I'm saying it loud.
I say okay. Oh, you've been there? You fans?
I'm not a haiku.
Yeah, we've been there once.
Jennifer isn't there anymore, but it's still a great place.
What?
And I was
What?
the one who got
He gets
knocked by
angry, he
it.
stands up, he looks at you. What?
Sir Shafir is a fairy dragon who was putting everyone in like a weird mystic trance and was kind of holding them captive there. And we like tried to talk to them about it a little bit. And then
There's nothing sacred. Can we have nothing good in this life? Everything good turns to ash. Everything is misery.
I'm gonna go put her hand on the shoulder, but it's also a kind of forceful hand to bring him sat back down. A loving but forceful hand.
He sits down.
You don't happen to have an antidote, do you, on you, Haiku?
No.
Poison antidote cures drunkenness.
I mean, I could slip the hush money into him, but I think it would mute us all.
Yeah. But it's still a great place. They just had a festival recently. It was really lovely.
He genuinely seems like he might cry.
Hey, tell you what, go there again, mention our names, you'll be treated well.
Yeah.
Does that mean free drinks for us too?
Probably.
Technically, they said you'd be treated well, not that you'd get free drinks. But
What specific discount do I get for going to the Bush Kiss and mentioning your name? Is there a coupon? Do I have to say the completionists or each of your names individually? Is there a special order in which I have to say your names? What if I mispronounce it, Ethaya?
how much is a normal drink at an inn? Like just a regular ale or whatever? Like out of character question.
Couple copper. If you're going for like basic ass stuff. Dragon piss.
Okay.
What, if you mention our names, it's usually 3 copper, but we'll give you it for 2. It was 2 copper anyways.
Thanks for the questions, Adam. We'll be using some questions. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I personally, again, I know not everyone had the best time when we were kind of trapped in another realm of existence, but it was a really beautiful place, and there was this wonderful city that was like all waterfalls, and it was really pretty. And there were unicorns. I can't stress enough.
To be fair, as horrible a time as I had, it was objectively a stunningly beautiful place.
And I do
Just
honestly
Once you
think
looked a little deeper, it was horrific.
yeah. You know, if I were slowly being turned into a tree because I were cursed, I would probably have had a less good time. I was stressed for you, but it all turned out okay in the end. And we got to see unicorns.
Exactly.
I also second or third the Feywild. I went on a different trip where there was far less tree curse, apparently, deep into the ancestral woodlands of my people.
Oh.
And that is why I'm on my current quest. It has driven me here. It is a beautiful place. Unlike, well...
Was there like a secret ceremony? Can you talk about what happened when you were there?
I merely found the remains of where they once lived before they left for the Promised Lands.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were leaving that for a new place, it must have been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What's the goriest kill you've ever had?
Oh, I should probably not answer this one. If I start, I won't stop. You won't let me answer.
That's where you find out actually someone's already cast Zone of Truth on the stage. It's like,
There was a necromancer under a mountain hilly cave, and there were some pretty gross things going on down there. Mystery substances, a lot of death stuff. Really gross.
Cool. Any more gory kills?
Jam it into a mouth and fire.
I feel like there's got to be something in the sphincter zone, but
Canuck.
Technically, I didn't
that
break
as
my own
well.
rule of not answering.
Also, that was priestess code. That was you killing priestess code. That wasn't
Yeah.
you shooting the guy in the fucking
No, that
in,
would be,
which is what I thought you were trying to avoid.
it's a toss up between the two of them, and you know, having to exit through the rectum of a demon.
Whoa, that's gross. That's
Yeah.
not killing though.
We did
Well,
kill
I mean,
him.
Yeah, we killed them first and then went inside.
You killed the big demon and you went in the demon and you went out the demon's butt.
Yeah.
His body
You know
was
what?
a portal.
While I was there, I ate some GIF.
What?
the whole crowd just goes silent, and it's just like, what? The front row is all good.
This is so good.
Oh, and I once shot someone in the mouth at point blank.
Wait, is there a zone of
Just a
truth here? I'm
segue.
confused. Also, it doesn't compel you to say anything. I'm just,
And there was a person in a bar who tried to poison someone, so I shot them without asking them any questions.
Didn't try to poison them successfully. Successfully
he tried,
poisoned
yeah.
and killed them.
Successfully poisoned and killed them. So
And we watched it happen. So,
It was within my rights.
adventuring license. Sometimes you realize in retrospect there were perhaps more than one way to handle things. But
And that's the first lesson you got to learn as an adventurer, though. The decisions you make will stick with you for the rest of your life. And
True.
so when you make that decision, you have to be absolutely certain that you're not going to wake up every night screaming because of them.
mhm.
Good advice.
but you also must not hesitate.
That
Well,
too,
is how
there's
you
a,
end up
there's,
dead.
a, there's a balance.
It's complicated.
Any more questions?
If you had any advice for a budding adventurer, what would it be?
Is this a ghost speaking to us? Who's this?
I'm not that old. I'm starting
No,
my career.
Jenny said that.
Hmm.
Always have a plan B.
Yeah.
I think.
Would you
the most
recommend that you stop planning at plan B and you don't have a plan C or a D? Is there so much? Is there some? Can you overplan?
Yes, yeah, you can definitely overplan to the point where like the actual thing itself was somewhat trivial. And there'll be times when you don't plan and actually end up solving something anyways just by being yourself. So
Yeah.
again, it's a balance. You want a bit of planning, you want to talk with your party about what you want to do, make sure everyone's on the same page. It'll go to shit immediately, most likely, but it's the
Who is
the
this
bond
advice coming from?
experience.
This is the person Haiku wants to be.
This is vitamin D haiku.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like buy my course.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Interesting.
I think-
That's my teaching style as well.
Oh my god. I think the most important thing to know is, or the most important thing to do to prepare is to make sure that you've got the right party. And she kind of like looks at everyone and smiles like, it's important to be able to trust each other, which will grow over time, but...
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking to recruit an 120-year-old rogue?
Well, I'm so sorry. I'm the rogue, so we can't have another.
Oh,
we do have a
rogue.
rogue,
So
okay.
sorry.
You guys seem like such a good, close-knit team.
Thank you. Thank you.
You'll find a
are.
team.
Exactly.
Any more advice?
Buy a healing potion.
Yeah.
That too. At least one.
Mm-hmm.
Fontin chirps up and says, make sure someone in your party can cast Identify, because some of those curses are easy peasy, no worries, oh, it's just a bit silly, turns you into a tree. Some of them turn your uncle into a mushroom person.
Athel doesn't know anything about that.
Okay,
That was suspicious.
Identify. Very important.
Yeah. Good to figure out what your party's like, the pros and cons are, like what you're good at and what your friend's good at, what you can work together as, where you can help each other, how you can help.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the
You
good
wanna try and-
spells?
You want to try and identify any gaps in your skills as well. You want to try and cover as much as possible between how many of you there are.
Okay. Let's move on to some chat questions, shall we?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do hope the voices will continue.
I'm not doing voices for the people in chat. Or it'll just be the same generic voice for everybody in chat.
Yeah.
That's a really good... I want to ask Cyborg's question, but you can answer it in character, Docs.
Okay.
What do you do if you're allergic to healing potions?
Well, if you have an allergic reaction, an antidote or lesser restoration would help. And so if you mix the two together, you will have an allergic reaction. And then it will cure itself.
Alchemy. On the fly. I'm not doing a child's voice.
My other question needs a child voice as well.
Sammy, what does gift taste like?
Everybody looks at Haiku.
It's vitamin D IQ. I don't think they want to answer that if it was asked by a child. You'll find out when you're older.
Or maybe you'll never know.
Travel with your own pillow, or are in pillows comfortable enough?
I think that depends on how you've lived previously, Like for me, it's fine, but
Oh.
if you're used to a plusher pillow, if you're used to 3 of those bad boys every night, then you might want to bring a little travel one, something like that.
Is it true all adventures start and finish in sewer?
Never been in a sewer.
Have you not?
Wow.
Don't
We
think
had to
so.
go into the sewer.
Yeah, why?
I've also not been in a sewer.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, unless you count the demon as the body's sewer.
But you didn't start there.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean,
That's
kind
true.
of. I was reborn.
That is true.
It's true, you were reborn in the demon. Yeah, you were.
I was reborn in the rectum of a dead demon.
Oh, Jesus.
AMA.
God, that sounds like the beginning of a fucking death metal song.
It's like the title of your memoir.
Yeah.
I was reborn in the rectum of a demon.
Oh, in the
A
memoir, we
total
could call it
story.
Rectum Recollections.
No, honestly, that sounds like an anime title. Reborn in the rectum of a dead demon.
Oh my
100%.
god. Is it true that creatures living in dungeons are trapped in the dungeon by their own traps?
You know, never thought about that.
I'm sure some of them are.
Yeah. Some of them probably just don't want to, leave. That's just kind of where they live,
Mm-hmm.
They're just sewer people.
But sometimes there's servants bound to an evil necromancer, and so they're there and they're trapped, but it's not by the traps, it's by the magic of the necromancer. So there's lots of reasons.
Have you ever been tempted to eat a monster you've killed?
No.
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 I'd be lying if I said no. Be honest.
The way you were looking, I was like, I can't tell if you're waiting for Haiku's answer or if there was something I forgot about the Feywild where I was something.
Well, there were those monsters that were made out of vegetables.
Oh yeah.
True.
In the giant's table.
Yeah.
Can you live in a dungeon after you clear it out? And if you do you need to pay rent?
Haven't you already asked a question?
I have 2 questions.
I didn't know there was any rule in that. My bad.
I thought it was just an open Q&A. I suppose you could. I think you'd only have to pay rent if it was a dungeon that became a dungeon when it was someone's home that was then taken over. Like one time we had to go and clear out a haunted castle kind of thing. And I suppose if the original owner didn't exist anymore, then it could just be inherited or purchased after that. But if it was just a cave, then yeah.
Do you all have unproblematic parents, or do you have problematic parents?
Mine's not problematic, no.
I do not see what relevance this has to adventuring.
Mine are on the other side of the world.
Are they problematic though?
I mean, they were pretty chill in the 18 years I lived with them.
I didn't know mine at first, but I found out who my mom is recently, and I hope to properly meet her soon.
How many years do you have to save up your pocket money before you started becoming an adventurer?
That depends on how much pocket money you have, I suppose.
Well, I mean, depends if you want to be a Nepo adventurer or not, doesn't it?
Nepo adventure.
Nepo adventurer.
There is no fixed amount of money required to start adventuring.
Except the amount you have to pay for the license.
Yeah, which you've definitely got.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to roll an insight check to see if Athale picks up what everyone else is putting down.
Absolutely do.
At the same time, Haiku, could you roll a perception check, please?
Oh shit, we don't like perception.
Yeah.
Oh.
To notice if somebody gives you a sideways look when you go, which you've definitely got. It wasn't suspicious at all.
I have a plus 12 on my perception rolls, by the way.
Oh hell yeah!
Holy shit!
Jesus.
Oh my god!
That is
Okay.
a shockingly awful roll.
Yeah, you don't clock anything. Athale, you suspect these guys are talking about you.
Yes. Other than the adventuring license.
Yes, exactly.
Although I suppose if you think about it, it depends kind of on what your specialty is, because some of us are just kind of born with magic and don't really need anything to get started, but some people need armor and weapons. So there's not a set amount, but there is an amount depending upon what you're good at. What path you choose.
Depending on your personal morals as well, you could just sit out and just start plundering whatever you need.
True.
Yeah.
A stick can be a formidable weapon in the right hands.
Mm.
On that, you are Villette and Velethia find themselves on the stage. They take the rock out of the sending stone out of the crowd, and they come up on the stage. Amazing! Just amazing! You did a great job. Thank you so much. Okay, round of applause, please. Round of applause. Everyone gives you a woo, yeah, I say woo, woo, woo. She shoots some fucking daggers at Pontin, and that look then gets reflected onto Haiku. Some of the some of the comments that were made throughout. And some bags of gold are placed in front of you. Thank you very much to coming and volunteering yourselves and saving our arses, because that was going to be bad. You'll find inside your payments for today, adjusted for inflation of ego. She looks again, once at Pontin.
Oh.
I'm looking in. How much did I get?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got 500. You each got
Okay.
500, apart from Haiku, who got 475.
Oh no, I called it. I'm so sorry, I cursed you.
I don't know if Vitamin D Haiku would take issue with that.
Would you say anything? Like to the
I could just give you the difference. You could just have my bit.
No. You
Don't start a thing right now.
You earn. Can I roll can I flip a coin?
Yeah, sure, I'll give you one.
Roll a vitamin D check.
Wait, do we know? So we know that you don't have the full amount.
Maybe-
What did I make?
They've not said anything.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't said anything yet.
Yeah. Okay.
On a 1, I'm gonna kick off.
No. Oh.
Vitamin D! Woo!
Yeah.
I just quietly mentioned to Oro, do you think the gift thing might not have gone down too well?
Yeah, that was definitely it.
Was that too much honesty?
It's too much honesty. Yeah. You need to never tell that to anyone ever again.
Oh, no one.
Nobody.
Okay. Alright.
This might be a cultural difference. This is obviously like a quiet, non-stage
Yep.
answer. This might be a cultural difference, Haiku, and I can't remember if we discussed this already, but generally cannibalism is frowned upon.
It's not cannibalism.
That
Cannibalism
is a matter of perspective.
would be me eating a turtle, which would be horrific. And again,
I feel
As you
like there's a
guys-
little bit of like a
value
issue
on
to
one
address
life
there.
over others, cows, chickens, etc.
I also was under the impression that it was more about like sentience. Like if a thing can talk to you, you generally probably shouldn't eat it.
Sometimes things talk and they shouldn't. And sometimes things don't talk and they should.
I'm not sure what argument you're trying to make there.
I'm not.
I feel like you're trying to argue that gifts shouldn't be able to talk.
Yeah.
That's what I took away from that.
No,
This is how we find out that portals and
This
gifts
is what a
are
tale
like...
takes away from this.
no,
As you guys,
that was not at all the vibe I was aiming for.
as you guys are
Moving on.
chatting away, Pontin comes over and he goes to shake each of you, to shake your hand and to say, thank you for carrying me. I tried. times are dark. But we move on. We crest the next hill, fight the unknown. We explore the evil, and apparently, in some cases, more literally than others. If you're going up demons' arseholes, did you go in that way?
No,
did you
mouth. Thank God.
Just came out.
In through the mouth,
Yeah.
and out through the arse.
Yeah.
Whole body was a portal back to the regular plane of existence.
We got to do some wild things, us adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he shakes each of your hands individually. Athale, as he gets to you, you find a small note left in your hand. And he says, "Thanks so much," and he walks away.
I want to surreptitiously read it when no one's looking.
Sure, I will message it to you.
Excellent.
Oh.
Use my
Imagine
secret
thinking
channel.
Oro isn't gonna know.
I want to know. God, it's like when people pass notes at school and you wanted to know what they said.
No,
just be
I'm
like,
calling it right now. No
"What are
way
you thinking about?"
Athale's sleight of hand is good enough that Oro doesn't see it happen. Not with that perception check. Score buff. Whatever modifier, perception modifier, goddamn. Words are hard. Nurli has no idea what's going on. Nurli is sitting there contemplating whether or not she needs to go talk to Pontiff about our Lord and Savior Selene, who can help us in these dark, trying times.
Mm. Do I not have a little inkling that something's happening? Is it so discreet?
There's no real reason to. It was it wasn't like a super duper like.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Nothing important. It was just a piece of paper being put in someone's hand. You know what I mean? Like.
Bit more like doing like a
yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It would be more like, just like hold it out.
Okay.
Like you
That's
looking
fair.
at your hands. Just
Like,
wait
You
for
can have your
Oro to
secret
be
message, it's fine.
distracted by talking to Haiku.
That's fair. We could be distracted. Mm-hmm.
Not saying gifts shouldn't be able to talk.
You just hear that in the background. The Haiku's still
Well,
trying.
I find Albert a little bit annoying. He's a lovely fella.
Not helping.
I will never not think about me being like, he's not flirting with Nurli enough. Something's wrong. And being right. He's not into her enough. Something is off about this. Oh, actually, it was. If only I had just been like, it's him. Anyway.
And we can't forget his partner's a spitting image of you, isn't it? Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Which is,
So-
yeah.
So yeah.
Good old Sue. Suely.
Okay.
Oh, Sue instead of Rue. I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did Dale make any faces after reading the note? Nurli doesn't have to know. Katie just wants to know.
Make any faces? No.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Athale is particularly expressionful in the face anyway.
I was
a lot
gonna
of the
say,
time.
a little bit
So,
of a
yeah.
monotone kind of fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good thing they had us here. It would not have been good if it. They honestly probably shouldn't have let him answer questions.
No, I'm surprised they did.
Yeah, feels like he should have been a little bit more in his healing journey.
I mean, Christ, I'm surprised you let me answer.
Yeah. You suspect that his coin purse was significantly lighter than even Haiku's. So you've got some time. Do you want to do your day? You want to go shopping for Evelyn?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right. Now, I'm going to make some adjustments for you because you are well-known adventurers who have literally just spoken at the event. The store managers believe that it is in their interest to offer you the standard prices as opposed to the inflated prices that they had otherwise been offering.
Okay.
This is we're the completionists, and this is our favorite shop on the Citadel.
Yeah.
I was literally typing that joke in chat. Since we got here, I've been
Exactly,
thinking about that one. It's like, can I use that to negotiate better prices?
I'm Haiku, and I approve this message.
Is there any equipment that you would like to buy? All of the standard adventuring equipment is available that you would find in the Player's Handbook at Player's Handbook prices. They would otherwise be upsold at 20%.
You know what? Aside from whatever we get for Evelyn, I would like 3 healing potions.
Yeah, I want some healing potions too.
Stock up.
What of the stall selling magic items?
So the store selling magic items, you go and inspect. Particular stall.
I want to go around that as well.
It's called Phalas's Treasures of Thentia. I'll put that in our channel for it. And they have a small selection of not inexpensive. They are still, like, again, more expensive than they should be. Magical items. They have a couple of wands. You see that there is a wand of magic missile and a what's another good low-level magic missile spell? I should have prepared for this and I didn't.
What was the question about magic missile?
I'm saying was another good equivalent because I didn't prepare for the
guiding bolt. Guiding bolt's level 1.
Is that a wizard spell?
Ooh, guiding bolt might be cleric.
I don't.
Wizard stuff tends to be. We go from the bottom up. This particular stall has a couple of weapons that are +1 as well, whereas all of the others, none of the other stalls have +1 anything. This is the only one that's got anything at all. There's Wand of Web, Wand of Magic Missiles, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. There's the 2 ones that they've got on offer, as well as a couple of short swords, a shield, some leather armor, each of which are +1. There is a ring of protection there, which is not nothing. Ring of protection is good.
Ooh, I still use my ring of protection.
Yeah, but
love a good ring of protection. Or I have cloak of protection, excuse me, but
prices.
Are you good for Evelyn? Sorry.
That was a lot of words all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You go, Jenny.
Would that be good for Evelyn? If you're trying to look for things for her, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Or good if Ethel wants it, then Ethel.
Oh, Ethel can have it, yeah.
So I'll give you some prices for some of these. The Ring of Protection is 3,500 gold. It ain't cheap.
That's a lot of golds.
Wand of Magic Missile. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to discount this. Is hilarious in its price.
It's just like one of those places where the prices are just completely out of whack because there's like it's just out of the way. There's not much trade here.
The Wand of Magic Missiles is 8,000 gold pieces.
Nice.
But today is on special offer.
The Wand of Web.
This is
just stuff here. Gold pieces.
This is just stuff that's here to like get the newbie adventurers being like, wow, and then they buy something cheap because they haven't got that money yet.
Well, it's more like there are going to be, no matter like events like this, nobles and parents of children who are nobles and that kind of thing who fork out the big bucks.
Today.
Today, Daddy, I want to be an adventurer. Buy me a
Buying a
Vorpal
kid of one.
sword.
This was like buying a kid a gun. Because literally a magic missile could kill a commoner. And they're just like, boo, 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 boo. 4 servants dead. Oopsie!
Theoretically, I like a wand would work well with me because I have the arcane firearm perk, which allows
What's that
wands
mean?
to have basically if you've got a wand, you just add plus 1d8 to its damage.
Ooh!
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's
Unfortunately,
really good.
I cannot give it to other people.
Wait, and you
Yeah.
can do that with a fucking magic missile?
With a wand specifically, I
wand.
think.
Oh,
you
oh
said.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually,
No wonder
Wait.
it's fucking 8,000 gold. It's fucking adjusted for artificers.
Wait, is it? Yeah, but that's you can't use that to cast a spell rather than attacking with the wand, right? I don't know how
I
wands
don't
work
think it
in-
would be you using it to stab people with a little piece of wood.
This is yeah, when you cast an artificer spell through the firearm, roll a d8, and you get a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equal to
With a
the number.
firearm.
Oh, so your
through-
little cannon, if you cast a spell through your cannon, you can add a d8 to it.
as long as it's an artificer spell. Just
Yeah,
versus
as
all
long
the
as it's an
spells.
artificer spell. Oh, I could have done that the entire time.
Is magic
Yeah.
missile?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of your spells ever since
you
you've
could
got
do
this.
an extra 1d8 damage. So is that like for Scorching Ray? Is that for
Yes.
each ray? You
Yes.
could do an extra 1d8 on every ray of Scorching Ray.
Oh my god.
That's insane. That's so much damage that you've not been doing.
Jack's
at
face
Jack.
right now is so good.
So much damage.
Fine, I'm a tank / support character now.
Haiku's like, yeah, I've been holding back. It's fine. I'm ready to feel out of class.
You guys have been
Hour.
fine. You've all been fine.
Spider-Man over here pulling their punches.
I literally just took a lot of my damage spells off. Got rid of them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Tank support.
Vitamin D, Haiku. It's going to become a passive.
Yeah.
Also, that spell storing item, I don't even need to have the spell prepared in my list. It can just be any artificer spell. It's mental.
Wild.
That is wild.
Okay.
Oh.
In terms of taking Evelyn shopping.
Evelyn. She's evil.
Evelyn, I'm so
Evil.
sorry, Evelyn.
Imagine
In terms
if
of taking-
telegraphing it.
I literally put in chat earlier, I was like foreshadowing, oh my god, what if Evelyn is an avatar of Shar this whole time? I was like, watch Dom's face, everybody.
Even worse.
I
it's
want
passive.
to buy Evelyn whatever she wants or needs. Like, and I say within reason, like I'm not gonna buy her something she doesn't want, and I know that she wasn't just gonna ask for things she's not gonna use. But like literally all the +1 stuff. I'm like, get her a +1 set of armor. If she wants a sword, we'll get the +1 sword. I think I've got like 4,000 gold or something. Maybe not all of it.
Yeah,
if I
but have
can't
you seen the
afford all of
prices
it.
here?
Yeah, the prices ain't gonna be cheap.
I think aren't the spell things a lot more expensive than like +1 armor? Isn't +1 armor only like 1,000 or something like that? 500,000?
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Dale is definitely trying to buy the Ring of Protection.
So a
it's
weapon
massively
+1,
overpriced.
any weapon +1 is 1,000.
Okay, and what about that +1 armor?
I'm trying. 1,500.
Okay. Well, I've got 5 grand. So I'll get her the +1 armor and 1 +1 weapon that she prefers, whether that's a short bow or a short sword, and then the rest will be regular.
Is this a Nepo adventurer?
She's a Nepo adventurer, absolutely. Gnarly, okay, so here's the thing. We met her super early on, and she was even younger than Nurly, but was in like a similar situation. And so Nurly has fully gone complete mom mode.
Yeah.
Like, she learned sign language to be able to talk to her, you know? Like, and if she wants to go out adventuring, she's basically like, I'm not going to let her die. And I can't be there to people are pressing buttons on my stream stuff. If I can't be there, then I'm gonna give her the best shot that she should have, right?
Mhm.
So that's 2,500 plus, I guess, normal prices for whatever else she wants. You give me a total, and I'll put it on there.
Well, for other stuff, you need to look in the player's handbook and see what you want to give her.
Well, but it's based on what she wants, right? Like,
So
I don't
she's going to
know.
be a ranger. So she's
ranger.
she's training to be a level 1 ranger.
I love it. Okay, I will look for the rest.
So if you
of
look in the player's handbook for the class starter stuff, it'll be filling that kind of stuff.
Okay, Evelyn and I will be doing that while everybody else is doing what they want to do.
I want to buy a bunch of random shit from the adventure in like just random little bits. Like I want to get some healing potions.
Yeah.
I want to get 4 healing potions. I want to get 2 poison thingies, basic poison vials, which are 100 each. So I'm getting 2 of those, which is 400.
Okay. Yeah.
And also there's some ball bearings, bag of 1,000. Oh,
yeah.
They're basically marbles. I'm getting a bag of marbles.
Yeah.
1 gold piece, a bargain.
Teeny tiny little marble. That is a bargain for 1 gold piece.
I feel like I want to grab a bag of these as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for 2 gold pieces, you could just get a barrel.
I did think about that. I've got a bunch of things written down. I'm like, what mischief could I cause with these random items? I wrote
Anything
down
in this list of
grappling hook,
adventuring gear, go for it.
grappling
Inexplicably, the
hook's
spyglass is worth 1,000 gold pieces. Everything else is very cheap.
What's a spyglass?
It's like a telescope.
Yeah. The shit telescope.
It's like I googled what the big deal about a magnifying glass is being 100 gold pieces, and you can just start fires with it, and that's why it's higher. I was like, okay, sure.
Got plenty of stuff which can start fires.
Yeah, we don't need that.
We almost need the opposite.
But maybe I want to look at some bugs, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, but bag of ball bearings is such an underrated item in TTRPGs. Oh yeah? I mean, it sounds like it could cause some mischief.
Absolutely.
100%.
We get a bell for one. There's a book for 25 gold. What kind of book is it? Is it empty? What is it? Random book from a barrel you could pick?
Yeah. It's just a book.
Lucky dip.
Lucky dip.
Oh, I quite like that. Then Tom has to come up with what kind of book I'm gonna wear.
Well, we won't spend too much time on stream agonizing over the bits and bobs you want to buy. Oh, that's your homework. Pick out what stuff you want to buy from the from the shops here. All of the weapons and adventuring gear items you find in the player's handbook are all available at those prices to you.
Okay.
They would be more expensive if they were not being sold to you. Same with the armor. However, when it comes to the big ticket items like half plate and plate mail, there's only 1 available of each. So if someone else says they want to buy one of those, they would have a conversation about who gets it.
You have to fight for it.
You don't want to fight me out with a bag of marbles now.
Oh yeah.
Trivial.
We could create a marble run in our downtime.
Yes, that sounds great. So it says clothes, costume. Is that just like random costumes? Like a costume bin?
It would be a specific costume.
What's the costume?
Whatever you want it to be.
Oh.
You wanted to buy a clown outfit.
That's what I was gonna say.
Living in a world where you're playing TTRPG with no encumbrance.
Yeah.
As long as you don't find the honk mother.
Yeah, no honk mother. I'm reading a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl at the moment, and in the book, they have a similar, like a gamified, like kind of in-game sort of thing where you can pick stuff up and it'll go into your inventory. But in this season they've done away with encumbrance, so you can just pick up anything that you can hold for 2 seconds can be put into your inventory. and it also like
Okay.
you pick up items and it inflates your stats. So these people are in this dungeon with hugely inflated strength, picking up cars, and it goes in their inventory, and then you can just like pull out a car, but this person's going around like picking up like dead bodies and stuff from monsters they've killed and been like, you never know, what if I need this for bait? And like puts it in their inventory.
Unlock the hoarder in every adventure.
Good stuff. Okay, that's your homework. Do your shopping stuff. But it wouldn't be HBA if we didn't end on some kind of hanger.
Yeah, I know.
So the cliffhanger for you today is haiku. You check your pockets. The immovable rod is missing.
No.
And that's a wrap for today's game of HBA.
You've been wanting to take this from me
Yeah.
since you gave it to me.
That's not true. Only
Okay,
recently I've been wanting to take it from you.
Oh no.
Surely I
Because
would have
missing.
noticed that.
Yeah, well, I gave you a chance to roll for
You
it, and
tried
you
to.
literally.
Oh.
I just paired it with the
Ah.
Randall one at the same time, not the Randall, the Bale one. Fuck! Keeping good cards out.
Nearly got through one whole game.
We
Yeah.
almost made it.
Close, so close. Fuck.
Well, imagine if Chad had given me a D6 there.
I had a D6. Ah.
Oh, happy days. It's gone. It's gone forever, everyone. It's gone. No more. No more. Like Katie said. Oh, you use it every adventure. No more. It's gone.
Oh no.
I'd like to make a point. If we find this and who's taking it out, I'm going to beat this shit out of them.
This is
Oh,
how we
haiku's
lose
back.
vitamin D haiku.
Can
Mhm.
we
In fact,
clip
I'll-
that
I'll-
and just make sure that comes back?
In fact, I'll just press the immovable rod into her chest and click the button. Just leave it like that.
Oh,
You
God.
wanted it so badly? Here you go.
Jesus.
Uh,
Oh.
okay. That's it for me today. GG's everybody. I'm glad we had a nice little fun time doing the Q&A. Everyone enjoyed a little bit of Q&A action? It was tiny little
Yeah.
fly in
Mhm.
here.
It was very good.
That was fun.
Mhm,
We're getting awful close to being in Suzale, guys.
mhm. Oh,
It's coming.
Jesus. Oh no. Okay, let's raid someone. Someone's doing a season finale of some D&D thing. So let's just do that.
That can always be good. We met Tortu when we were doing a season finale of our last game.
True.
You can get invested.
True.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Can
for
I just
hanging with us.
spend $3,000 on Evelyn.
No, I can give you some money for it as well.
Oh, wait,
I-
no,
I
not
will
3,000. Sorry,
Yeah.
hold on. It was 2,600. That's what it was. 2,601. I did the math wrong.
Okay, we could go three in it. I assume Ithael does not want to give money for this, so we can go
This
over
child who's never known.
Okay, we might pause when I click the end thing, so make a face if you want to make a face. Oh, sorry, it was too late for you, Jack, but everyone else. All right, we'll see you next week. No, I think maybe.
I think so.
Okay, thanks for hanging with us. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.